everyone, I'm Dani Walker. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe and hit that notifications bell, as well as follow me on social media at Dani Walker. I'd really appreciate that. Today I am going to speak openly and freely about state hopping because obviously I get a lot of questions about that if you have followed this channel at all and if you've seen my journey to Miss USA. And now the Miss Universe organization has changed the residency requirements for contestants. They are allowing girls to compete in 2 state pageants per year, and I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they only need 3 months of residency in order to compete in a different state. What does that mean? It means that a lot of the members of the class of 2019 will be representing a state that they might not primarily live in. They are representing a state that they just moved to, or they are representing a state that is just not where they grew up. And obviously this causes a lot of controversy. As many of you know, I had competed in California. I grew up in California, but then I became Miss Montana USA. And I am not the first to do that. There are quite a few other title holders that were doing that, and it's not something that people talked about a lot, I feel like, in the past, but because of social media, it's becoming more of an issue. I haven't really dove into this on my channel, but what a lot of you guys don't realize about my personal situation was that I had already been looking to move to Montana for several years, and I needed something that was gonna light a fire under me to really go all in with my channel, and I needed some new motivation. So one day I literally booked a plane ticket out of the blue, and I told myself, I'm gonna go to Montana and I'm gonna see if this is somewhere that I want to be, that I could do life. I thought that it was the right move for me personally, and because I'm self-employed and I travel on the road a lot, it was so nice going somewhere where the cost of living was so much lower than California, because I just felt so stuck. I was like, I can't afford anything. All of that just to say, like, my journey and my path was different from other girls, and that's sort of how I decided on Montana, because it was so cheap. We don't even have sales tax. It's amazing. What I want to say, as I've been watching girls transition between states, which this year in 2019, some girls have been successful and some haven't. So what are the lessons we can learn from there? And how can we become successful? Because all of us want to win, right? Well, also consider I didn't win my first year. People think, oh gosh, well, if she was competing in California and Montana was just so easy. Well, I didn't win the first year. And that's how it is for so many girls that are switching states, and not just in USA, but in America. And the big reason for that I realized is a lot of us haven't really done our homework. Now I had, and I already knew that I was going to tone down a lot of things to be able to be successful in Montana, because I didn't want to stick out so much. Turns out I still did stick out quite a bit my first year, and I had to pull back even more. But I wasn't able to understand that until I moved to Montana. Do I wish that I would have moved sooner? 100%. I wish I would have moved sooner so then I could have represented Montana at Miss America as well as at Miss USA. I think that would have been amazing because it would have happened well before Miss America 2.0. Here's what I would say where you should start. Pay attention to the title holders that have been crowned and start doing your research on social media. You can reach out to these former title holders. Not saying that they're all going to respond, but I get quite a few girls who message me and ask my opinion about switching states. A lot of girls are concerned about directors in USA and how they would feel about it. Your directors don't care. Miss USA, Miss Universe does not care. I did not experience any negative feedback from anyone at the Miss Universe organization. I wasn't treated any differently than any other girl that competed at Miss USA. They don't care. That is not something that you have to worry about. Here's who will care. The contestants in the new state that have come back year after year, or just girls that are born and raised there. And if you win that title, you better be ready for a backlash. But the good thing is that USA and Universe doesn't care. Those girls can say whatever they want on social media, and USA and Universe are not going to take away your crown because you met those residency requirements. The question is, how will you take that backlash? You're going to get a backlash usually from the girls you competed with and their families, which I personally experienced in kind of, I would say, sort of a scary way, where somebody was really on me and messaging me constantly and saying that they know where I am and all of these different things. And it was just so funny because as I read the messages, I was just like, well, actually, all this dirt you have on me, none of it's actually true. I wasn't worried about it at all, but it did make make me feel less safe, and it just did concern me because someone was becoming so obsessive with the fact that I had won my state title that I was literally worried for my safety, and that's something that's not good. You do still have the organization behind you, and if something like that does arise and there is a problem, they are amazing and they're still going to help you in the best way that they can and be proactive about that to ensure, your safety. Other than that, people can say what they want. People are going to say what they want anyways when you win. Some people are going to say your walk is terrible, you're ugly. You're going to face that if you're going to Miss USA no matter what. It's just going to sound different. Their comments are just going to sound a little bit different if you did switch states. So the criticisms are going to be that you won because you came from another state or you're not the rightful winner. That's just not true. So if you met those residency requirements and the universe organization signed off on that, because there's quite a bit of paperwork that goes into even competing at the state pageant. So if they signed off on that, you're fine. And if you're going to be okay with just ignoring all those haters out there, then go for it. Like, what is stopping everyone? I just look at all of the people that complain when a girl who maybe wasn't born and raised in a state wins that state. I'm like, don't get bitter, get better. Y'all were the same pageant. You had the same amount of time to prepare. You could have gone out there and worked your butt off too. And also there's the element of the judges. And a lot of times judges don't agree with one another on who should win anyways. So it's not like when a girl gets crowned that everyone picked her. There could have been somebody else up there that picked you. It's just all their personal opinions. So stop taking everything just like so personally. If you agree with me, just comment jealous below, because that's what those people are who are acting out that way. They're just jealous. They're jealous of your success. They don't want you to have it for some reason because there's something inside of them that's missing. Hurt people hurt people. So there's something that has hurt them, and that's why they're lashing out at you. Really, when you find people that are just being mean or unsupportive of you, show them kindness, because there's something that they're struggling with. I would say to everybody that's considering to compete in another state to do your homework, you need to pay attention to what the former winners were wearing and what's important in that state. Because you go and watch some states and there are some girls and they don't have a strong on-stage question and they don't have a strong interview, and that's not really how they won that state pageant, but she might be stunning. If you see a trend of that in that state, that's something to pay attention to, because that means, or it could mean, that the directors are emphasizing to the judges that we want a girl that just like looks like Miss USA, that looks really ready to go to Miss USA, but we can work on her interview. You see other girls in some states and really their stage performances are not great. They're not up to par with where you should be at Miss USA. They'll still take you because maybe you had that strong interview. So you need to look back. Like I said, contact former title holders, reach out to them, ask them questions. Ask them about what they think that judges typically look for in their states, because it does vary. In some states, they love like that sexy, very Trump era USA type of girl, but in other states, they couldn't care less. They don't really care so much about her winning the USA title, but they do want somebody who is going to be a hard worker. For example, in Montana, most girls haven't done pageants there. You're not really going to see all of these like gorgeous couture gowns at our state pageants. They're not necessary. Have some girls win in them? Yes, of course you can win in them, but a lot of girls don't win in them. And that's just because of the area. I've seen girls that have come back to Montana and they did invest and they have that gorgeous couture gown, but they also didn't work on improving their hair and makeup. So it's like the dress was stunning and then the girl looked a hot mess on stage. Of course she didn't win. She didn't look ready at all. Like the dress literally did nothing. I know that I'm just totally opening myself up to more scrutiny by even posting this video, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. I was so happy to achieve my dream, regardless of all the people that weren't supportive of me. They have no idea what I went through and what I sacrificed to get to the Miss USA stage, and I'm proud of the work that I did as Miss Montana USA. I'm very proud of how I represented my state, regardless of other people's opinions, and I think at the end of the day in life, that exemplifies confidence when you're not letting other people's opinions sway your opinion of yourself. And that's something that I want to communicate to future contestants or really just anyone out here watching this. People are always gonna talk, and it doesn't matter. So like I said, I know I'm really opening myself up by even touching on this topic, but somebody asked for it. Rachel. Follow me on social media at Dani Walker and put your comments below. Also subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I can't wait to hear back from you guys on this video.